lot of the actual sick, but oh god, my energy. Oh, whoops, and weird start to the game.
It's okay. We appreciate
I'm
you.
sorry, I was already pressing the button.
Okay, so last session, I got up to mischief.
Yeah, last session was mostly just a shopping session. I mean, it started out with Valk going into Aaron's future daughter's bedroom and demanding to know information. And she gave you some very vague info out of familial obligation. But after that, guys started to spend some time exploring the city of Ahira. You visited Magroma's jewelry, which is run by an older tiefling woman with like strange bone jewelry and various gems that you acquired. You also visited Walter's, also known as Walter's Warehouse, Walter's Witchcraft, Walter's Wizardry, and Walter's Weaponry. Was an old human man who was selling a little bit of everything and wandered out to change the sign as necessary, depending on what you guys were inquiring about. You also visited Scrumdiddlyumptious, which is owned by a sorcerer who was able to infuse her magic into her baked goodies. Valkyria, I remember, bought something that will increase her firepower a little bit. I will also note that it takes an action to consume a pastry in the middle of combat. Just a heads up. Demir
Surprise
bought...
action.
Action surge. Anyway, Demir bought an entire baker's dozen, one of which Liz and the Pixies ended up eating, which was a honey roll, and put him under the effect of a fly spell, giving him briefly translucent bee-like wings for the duration. You had also noticed, well, I should also say that Valkyria also paid Margaret, the owner of Scrumdiddlyumptious, 100 gold to really just go all out on this wedding cake. She had also pointed out that she somewhat knows, Valk's mom knows that she works part-time at the textile shop, so it seems. You also visited a stand called Frey's Fresh Fish Flesh, which is owned by a middle-aged female water genasi with an urn of infinite water where she seems to keep her fish. She chopped up I think it was a cod for Demir, and then gave her a recipe for a local dish. Otherwise in town, you notice that there's a temple to, scrolling down, a temple to Helm, the House of the Gauntlet, and a very small shrine to Eldath, the goddess of peace, in addition to other places to visit. So, what would you guys like to do?
I would like to stalk my mother.
All right. So, the closest bit of information you have to her location, as I mentioned, was Margaret mentioning that she works part-time at So It Seems, the textiles shop. The textiles shop is not very big. there's some well, looking at it from the outside, there is a window display with some mannequins in the window. Clearly look like they are not very professionally made mannequins, but they're fine. They get the point across. And they're showing off some kind of well, one of them is wearing more of like a long, drapey, sort of robe-like, fancy thing. Another one was wearing like a cute summery dress. I will also note that by this point in the day, much of the snow has melted or turned to that kind of like really damp slushiness that happens. But yeah.
I have a plan.
Okay.
Sniv still needs clothes for the wedding. Because our collective brain cells went, yeah, the child doesn't need clothes. So at which point Valk kind of walks up to Sniv and like kneels down in front of him and is like, I have a very important task for you.
You have his undivided attention.
Yeah.
That thing where he's like kind of turning his head from side to side so that he can see you with both eyes.
Okay, buddy. We are going to go in undercover into this workshop so I can spy on my mom who doesn't know it's me yet. We are going to get you some fancy clothes. Do you want some fancy clothes?
What? Why do I need fancy clothes? I have my cloak.
Because we're going to a wedding and you must have the drip.
Kobold weddings, we usually just put a bunch of sticks in a fire and then eat things. Sometimes we don't even wear clothes.
That sounds like an absolutely fun wedding. However, that's not how we do things in our culture. And so we are going to respect my mom's culture for today. Can we do that?
Okay. Did you want me to bite your leg?
Not yet.
I will later then.
Okay. We can also get you a big bag for putting stuff in. How does that sound?
Can I put bugs in it?
We'll make sure it's heavy duty enough to put bugs
in. He gives a little clawed thumbs up.
At which point Valk turns to the rest of the party and is like, okay, who's coming in with me?
I will note that Demir at this point is the only one who knows what your mom looks like.
Yeah, I'm fucking down.
Tobias is willing to go in as well.
Yeah, Lish will go in too.
Samira is always down to clown, especially when it comes to fucking with parents. So
Levy self-assigned arm candy for Valk. So
Everyone will go if it looks like the group's going.
All right.
So at which point Val kind of does a nervous gesture, kind of running her hands over her wings, at which point she activates her talisman, so she goes into human standard mode. Let's do this.
And Levy is hanging off of her arm.
Valk makes it.
But like tastefully.
All right.
Valk makes a gesture to Tyr and just like, let's do this.
So when heading into the shop, it looks more like a so the way that the clothes are organized, it looks more like a thrift shop in a way, even though things are made there. But it's got the vibes of things are organized by color. you can see one woman in there who is a half elf. She's got kind of swarthy brown skin, and then curly white hair, kind of just pulled back into a ponytail, but her hair's kind of too puffy for it to look like it's really
Sleek.
anything other than just a pom-pom. She looks up as you all enter, and as the little bell ringing above the door, she says, hello, can I help you?
Yes, thank you. We're looking for an outfit for our little gentleman here. Valk gesturing at Sniv.
All right, let me see what I can get you hooked up with. Let me see. Are you looking for something more formal, or?
Something formal, but still allows movement since he doesn't exactly sit still.
All right, and if I get close to him to start measurements, will he bite me?
Not if you bribe him with food. We have food for bribing.
Oh, okay.
Don't worry about it.
And she kind of kneels down and says, hey, you all right if I take a look at you, get you something that might be comfortable for you? He's like, looks up at you, Valk, and does the like...
a Valk like hand backwards towards Demir, just like, feed me with a muffin.
He's your child.
I don't want to give him a fire breathing muffin. That's all I have on me at the moment.
Look, I might have some jerky in the back if that would work. I mean, it was part of my own meal, but if it means my shop won't be destroyed.
I'll give Sniv one of the just like tear off a hunk of bread and give it to him.
Is this one of the baker's dozen or
no, I am not
Okay.
giving him those. Those are mine
for a moment.
No, I just give him like some of the bread I baked like earlier.
Okay. He doesn't look happy that it's not meat, but he takes it in his mouth and just starts shaking it anyway. And you can see that this half-elf woman like very carefully pulls out measuring tape and starts trying to take his measurements. I'm actually gonna roll and see how well she does. Just because it's funny. All right, she is a professional. She's doing a pretty good job, all things considered.
She's worked with enough small children before.
Yeah, apparently.
It's the same concept.
And she nods and is like, all right, let me, I got a couple things that might work based on his outfit. Easily modified to cut a hole for the tail, that sort of thing. Let me show you a few options. And she starts kind of pulling things from the racks. You're able to find a little green kind of suit jacket with a bow tie and shorts. And then another option is a little black tuck that would probably work. But there's a few options if you had something in mind.
Well, You saw on Discord my ingenious idea for the wee man. Basically, I find whatever makes him look like Markle from Howl's Moving Castle,
All right.
including
So-
the promised big bag.
Yes. The kind of bag that she offers looks more like a hand woven basket that is around, but it's got little backpack straps on it. Fits the vibe, and for those of you in the know, we saw those at Renaissance Fair.
He's an adorable little man.
Let's see. He looks pretty dapper, and he does like kind of lift up the bow tie to chew on the edge of it sometimes when he thinks you're not looking. Yeah, the way cats look when they turn their head to the side to like chew on grass. That's kind of what he looks like trying to chew on this bow tie. Let me see. Kid clothes, let's say 5 gold pieces.
He is such a little gentleman. The tailoring for the tail hole, does that happen right away, or do we need to return?
She's able to get it done in the shop pretty quick.
Nice. Valk then goes, I heard through the grapevine that you've been having a Runa Grace do some seamstress-free work for you.
Oh yes, the lovely girl, she says while she's like using a seam ripper to rip a tail hole and like try and edge it properly. Just moved to town relatively recently.
We're actually in town for the wedding.
Oh, that's wonderful. Are you a friend of Jason or of Runa?
Runa, but it's been a very long time.
All right. Well, she's not in today. But I can give you directions towards the lake where she and her fiance have their cabin.
I would really appreciate that. The invite didn't include directions to their place.
There's usually only one spot that around the lake that people tend to have any sort of celebration. It's just a little spot where flowers tend to grow a bit more.
Makes sense.
And she gives you. What do you ask for directions to her house or to the wedding spot?
Yes.
Both.
Well, would they be at the wedding spot yet, or would they still be at home?
You don't know.
Okay. Well, I'm hoping to meet up with her before the wedding, so if I could get both locations.
All right. She gives you directions to the southern part of the lake. If for those of you on Roll20, there-ish for the there-ish for the wedding spot, and then the cabin is like here where they are staying.
The cabin being where they live.
Yes.
Okay.
As they leave, Levy's gonna kind of tilt her head up and say, quietly to Valk. Why didn't you say you're the daughter of the bride?
Not ready for that.
That's fair. And she'll give Valk's arm a little pat from where she's kind of like holding onto it.
I want to know where things sit with her before I start announcing it to the world.
That's reasonable.
Damn
Oh.
these emotion things.
Well, I guess I'll see you at the wedding. I if in case you're interested, my name's Misty Powell.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Misty. We're the Wild Roses.
Oh, well, I hope that you enjoy the city while you're here.
We have been quite a lot.
Great. Is there anything that anyone else would like to say to Misty or do in town?
Nope. No, good.
That was the last thing on my to-do list.
All right. So, where do you go from here?
Well, what time of day is it?
Starting to be late afternoon, early evening.
My thought is it would probably make most sense not to arrive there at night and then not really have the time to get back if things go awry. So maybe we should head out in the morning.
I think
Yeah, I
that's
think
a
that
good
makes sense.
idea. Yeah, fair enough.
I guess it's another night at the inn and then we'll head out.
All right. The owner of the inn, once again invites any of you to partake in this musical contest.
No, not a chance.
No, thank you.
All right. I figured. But otherwise, you retire to your bedroom for the evening, unless there's any conversations that would like to be had.
There is heavy drinking to be had.
I want to have Tobias, before he goes to bed, swap out one of his attunements with that necklace that he got at the Turning Spire.
Cool.
And before Toby goes to bed, Levy is also gonna give him a little goodnight smoochie because if Valk's gonna be drinking heavily, she's not going to be doing it unsupervised.
Tobias will tell Levy to stay safe, keep an eye out on Valk for them.
She'll kind of pull him down and just kind of give him like an affectionate like scritch over his head through his hair, and then give him another little smoochie, and then send him off to Betty Bye.
The only thing Demira is going to do is that she is going to do some cooking with that cod that she got. Probably like cut it in half, and one half try to do the lisfisk, and the other she's going to make some like rolled fish pies, basically like hand pie but with fish in them. And like as she's kind of doing it, probably in the room with like Lish and Toby, just so what do we think? Should we do you think we're going to end up trying to show up the bride, or should we be polite wedding guests?
I think as of right now, because we've yet to meet the bride herself, and based upon what the townsfolk have been saying, I think we should approach this as being polite guests.
Well, I mean, they only know what she presents to strangers. This is family. Might be very different.
I mean,
True.
we'll be showing people up just by showing up at all in our wonderful outfits. So
That
They'll-
and, well, this is important to Valk. And if there's a chance that she could potentially either rekindle or at least get answers from her mother, I do not wish to jeopardize that.
Well, I'm sure we'll certainly see tomorrow. I'm just thinking ahead.
I think we can improvise at the time
Hmm.
when it's called for.
When it's called for. That's it. Demir's just gonna keep on making.
All right. Valk, do you do anything while getting hammered, or are you just down there drinking?
Yes, I do have a plan. After a couple meads in, she's probably leading the people in a drinking song
Okay.
because, Scandinavian drinking songs.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, roll a performance check.
Nat 20 plus 3.
All right. It's a fucking awesome drinking song. It is baller. Everyone is getting involved. People start dancing. People seem to know like all the words. It's just fucking amazing.
Valk, like 1 foot on chair, other foot on table, just
Valk accidentally starting a musical number.
Levy
basically.
adding a little touch of she casts dancing lights in the form of birds fluttering about.
All right.
I just love the mental image. Everyone's upstairs worrying, and then Levy comes down to monitor Valk, and she's just leading the entire tavern in a drinking song.
All right. Anyone else? Zoda, you just vibing?
I can't really think of anything that she'd want to bug others about or that she'd want to do.
Alright.
So
Kieran?
He's just upstairs fussing with different hairstyle options for tomorrow.
Cool. Yeah, it's a very chill evening for the most part.
Does Erin want the help of the pixies in figuring out hairstyles because he can
Yes,
recruit
he
them.
does. Yes, he does.
Do all of the fanciness.
Yes.
Just I picture him in his like pajamas, but in like the most like Marie Antoinette style of hair.
Right. I mean, you
beehive.
need your hair to look your best for going to bed.
Yes. All the pomade.
It becomes a
Alright.
functional beehive, so the fairies have somewhere to hide.
They
Yeah, I feel
build
like
a
one of
little
the
house
pixies
in
picked
your
up a
hair.
pixie-sized beehive one time.
Yeah, I remember that being a thing.
Aaron's got a lot of hair, so there's a lot of real
Oh
estate.
yeah, you guys stole that from the Shrine of Aro that Demir blew up.
Well, there you go.
All right. Aaron, you're looking pretty fancy.
Yes.
You do know that if you leave in all of these braids overnight, it'll just make your hair curly tomorrow.
Yup.
Is
You'll,
that a
you know.
choice you're making?
No,
Is that what you
he'll
want?
sigh at the end of the night, and then go in and undo it all.
Okay.
Pixies crying, screaming, throwing up.
I know. He thanks them profusely first.
All right. Valk, I will say that since you got a natural 20, the owner of the inn gives you free room and board for life because that's part of the deal.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't win the instrument because I didn't participate, but
Yeah.
he's
You
an
didn't
honorable
participate, but you got everyone engaged. Everyone was having a good time. Everyone was getting a lot of drinks because they were having a good time. So free room and board for life, but he encourages you to take part in the contest in the future, nevertheless.
Just threw absolutely slurred, just like, if I do a Fey deal again, Lish is gonna kill me.
He just says that is all in good fun. All right.
I can't believe I rolled a nat 20.
So, you eventually head upstairs for the evening. Crash either on the floor or on one of the beds in the room.
On top of someone.
Yeah, you can be on top of someone if you want. Levy, do you follow her up or do you just hang out in the bar?
No, she'll follow her up to make sure that she doesn't eat shit on the stairs. She'll she'll threaten the funnel if Valk doesn't drink a whole glass of water before passing out. And then she'll tuck Valk in and then just make sure that she's got maybe like a chamber pot or a bucket or something by the bed just
Valk.
in case. And she's on her side so she doesn't have the so-called drummer's fate.
When Levy tells Valk to drink some water, she summons water above her face and it just goes clop.
Levy will prestidigitate the bed clean, but not the bed dry, but not milk. She's like, you have to live with that now. But we're not
And then
paying
Valk
for the
just kind of
damages.
rolls over.
No. Levy's gonna be like, you gotta face the edge of the bed, just in case. Do you want to choke on vomit?
I don't vomit. I'm an angel.
Anybody can choke on vomit, dear. Turn back over, face the edge of the bed.
And she just kind of rolls a couple times over whoever's already on the bed and goes to the other side of the bed.
Who is that, by the way? Who volunteers to be crashed upon?
Oh God.
Who's in the secondary bedroom?
Probably Zoda and Iran.
Just rolls
Oh, no,
over
we're gonna
Zoda.
She's probably like, and like starts like shoving Valk off of her.
Oh no, it wasn't on. It's all the way over to the other side of the bed.
She still like probably like shoves a little bit to make sure like you're not rolling on top of me again.
At which point Valk just
God.
no effort because 18 strength.
Hey, Zoda's got 15.
Yeah, I weigh more.
Fair.
My God. Anyways, just to be safe, Libby's gonna wedge herself between Valk and Zoda and Big Spoon Valk, so she stays in place. She will be the crib bumper on the toddler bed.
All right.
Valk starts cuddling one of your arms.
Yeah, that's fine.
So, you all eventually find sleep, and it's now that I turn my attention to Tobias.
Da 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 da.
God, great.
Tobias, what are the sorts of things that you usually dream about?
Tobias is a person who does not dream very often. But when he does, it's generally things that he does not want to see. Usually, the subject matter of his dreams could be described as nightmarish, but it's to the point where he's so used to it that he doesn't wake up screaming or afraid for the most part, just unnerved. Probably the most common subject matters of the few dreams that he does have would be memories of when he was bitten, memories or warped memories of his childhood and stuff, like standing in the fields, or just isolation, waking up and no one is around, that sort of thing.
Okay. So tonight is one of those evenings where you are having a dream along those sorts of themes. You find yourself in the woods that were near your place of birth, where you eventually found Oaksy. But for now, in this dream, you are alone and you are a child, and the trees are towering above you, stretching towards the sky. And it's dark. And you are alone, and you can just feel this stinging sense of your own isolation here in the woods. Defenseless, for lack of a better description. When all at once the landscape around you seems to shift. And you find yourself standing a frozen fjord. It's cold, and you can feel the biting frost of snow all around you. And you can see something moving in the distance. And even though it is far away, you find that you can see it perfectly. As your vision seems to depart your body and fly towards this being. You can see that it is still as dark as it was in the woods, but you can see a humanoid shape on a horseback. The horse is the type of black that seems to draw in all light around it. Even the light from the moon shining on the snow does not seem to penetrate the inky black coat of this horse. And its rider has armor on of a similar shade of darkness. There is a small glint of a helmet that this man is wearing, and you can see that he is armed. He has a bow, and there's a long sword at his side, even as his dark cloak flaps in the wind. The only real detail that you can make out of this man is his white beard that peeks out from underneath his helmet, which shines the same sort of silver as the moon. And I'd like you to make a perception check.
Yes, ma'am. Let me. Come on, Dobie. Ooh, that was a nat 20.
Natural 20. All right.
+1, so 21.
Looking closer, you can see that this man is older. He's clearly a seasoned warrior of some sort. But looking at the back of his cloak, you can see the symbol of a cabin with chicken feet. You can see this man as he's riding, his glowing orange eyes, and you can't help but feel like he's getting closer. So, you all wake up in the morning, one way or another.
Roll for hangover.
Yeah, I mean, you can roll for hangover if you want. Make a Constitution saving throw.
17.
17. You got a little bit of a headache, but you're okay. You're good.
I want to mention that when Tobias wakes up, he has a smile on his face.
All right. Does anyone have anything they'd like to accomplish this morning?
Like, when Demir wakes up and sees Toby sitting there smiling, she's definitely like, well, good morning.
Morning, big boy.
Aren't you, Cherry? Look, she's used to Toby being like sad boy all the time. When the man smiles, it's the moment of notice.
It's an event.
Tobias turns to her and gives her a good morning kiss and says, I had a wonderful dream.
Yeah. Are you going to share?
I want it to come true. So I can't quite share it just yet.
Fine, play mysterious. still just give him another kiss and get on with getting up. The whole process.
All right. You guys all wander downstairs eventually, have some breakfast, I assume. And what's your plan for heading out?
Well, you see, I've got this spell.
Oh,
Yeah, so are we ready to fly out of here or nah?
well, sooner we get there, we make sure that we don't miss her.
Are we going to miss her? We're
Well,
be
I
there
don't
quite.
know if she's working today.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, let's go.
Kinda
Onwards. Well, food
kind of
first.
looks at everybody else and is like, "Are we good to go? Anything else you need?"
Tobias is all good.
I'm pretty
Maybe
much
also
prepared,
good.
so.
Alrighty. So Lish will summon his owls.
All right. So you, I assume, head outside in order to summon the owls. Instead of just
No,
Summon-
inside the inn, we break
summoning
out
them
the roof.
in the inn and then trying to shove them through the door because they're too big.
Summons them in the bathroom and pops them out. No, he summons them on the stage and they do a little tap dancey dance and song and then they leave.
Does the can with them?
Oh yes, the can. And the barkeep is crying, screaming, throwing up that he can't sign them to his agency. Oh, so sad.
All right.
It's doing like the Michigan J frog dance out the door.
I don't know what that is, but okay.
It's like the dancing. It's like the dancing frog from like Looney Tunes. I'll look it up
Oh,
later.
sure.
Demir blessed us with a gif.
Yep. Oh no.
And a superior gif.
Anyway,
Spaceballs is such a fun movie.
you summon the owls.
We got the owls out on the street lined up, battle formation. Let's go.
Cool. So honestly, the owls probably weren't even necessary because it's such a short flight. But hey, you want to make an entrance. Are you flying to the cabin or to the wedding ground?
I was thinking cabin first.
All right.
All right.
Anyone who would like to can just roll a general perception check while you're flying.
I will.
I got an 11.
I got a natural 20.
Woo!
Damn, we're rolling good today, guys.
Damn.
And I got an 11.
All right. So, let me describe for Valk and Lish first. While you guys are flying, you're taking a look at the lake, and you can see that there are various just little clusters of buildings just scattered around the area, and a few odd cabins that are just on their own. You get the impression that these are the homes and sometimes the storage spaces of the people who work on the lake, fishing, doing boating things. You do see a few boats out on the lake. going around trying to catch fish to not only supply their town, but also to be able to trade to other parts of the country. You can also see several paths kind of just winding through. They don't seem to be like officially laid out, but they've been walked on enough by enough people over time to create dirt paths through the fields. Damir, you can see all of this, and you can also see efforts of reforestation in some areas in the fields. As I had mentioned before, much of the wood in the surrounding area had been cut down and used for buildings of the city proper. And since then, people have been trying to revitalize this area, more or less. And Damir, since you not only got a natural 20, but you are the only one that knows what this cabin looks like. You are the first one to spot it.
She will flag the group and just be like, that one.
Because someone knows things.
Right. How close to the house do you land?
Front yard. Who gives a
I think we
flying
should land
fuck?
on the house.
Not on the house.
Okay.
Why not?
We don't want to scare them.
We're not in
straight up a child playing in the yard.
Yeah,
So-
we're not in like Gremlin ruin your life mode yet. So
Yet.
So you land in the yard.
Basically.
Okay. So as you start to circle down and get closer, as I mentioned, you do see a child in the yard. He looks to be about 10 years old. He is, and you just catch a glimpse of kind of bluish skin before he just runs inside at the approaching owls.
Do I know the kid's name?
Nope.
That will need to get fixed. But yeah, so we land. Valk hops off in like, of course she's in her plate mail because outside of city limits, and kind of just walks up to the door and just kind of pauses before knocking.
Okay. You knock on the door, and there's only a brief pause before the door opens. Standing there, you see a middle-aged woman with dirty blonde hair and blue eyes. She has fair skin, and she looks, for lack of a better descriptor, motherly. She's got like a short little tunic dress and then an apron over it. There are a few stains on it, like she's been cooking something. Now, at this point, I have to ask you, are you wearing your disguise?
Not at this point. It's open door, feathers, full garb of tier,
Okay.
full presence.
So, she opens the door, and when you are, of course, much taller than she is, she's about, I want to say 5'4", 5'6", somewhere in that area. But she looks surprised at first, and then delighted, and she just cries out, Valkyria! She starts to open her arms to go for a hug, but then realizes maybe that's not the best decision, and she just kind of just
No,
holds
Valk,
your hand.
just fuck it.
Okay.
Thunk.
And he is just hugging you so tight. And she's crying a little bit now. Oh, I'm so happy to see you.
I wouldn't want to refuse your invitation.
Oh my gosh, I've missed you so much. Please come in. Are these your friends? I'm sorry,
yes.
you're all welcome to come in. Oh my
These
God.
are my traveling companions, the Wild Roses.
My house is very small, but we can try and fit you all in. Oh my God, and she kind of wipes away tears. Okay, come on in, please.
Val kind of ducks in through the door and kind of steps to the side and let everyone else enter.
All right. So
I bring all 8 of the owls.
Owl can stay on the front lawn.
We're gonna probably stay here tonight, right? So I can de-summon them.
Yes. Or we could walk back.
All right.
We have the fortress. We could just plop that on our front lawn.
That's also true.
So, this house is very small, very humble, very clear that the people who live here do not have much money at all. Low-key, it looks kind of like the basic houses in Skyrim. There's a fireplace and a cooking pot over it. There is a table with 4 stools at it. There's various herbs kind of hanging on the wall near the fireplace so that she can use them in her cooking if she so chooses. And then there are little stairs leading downwards. And you can just see that your mother is delighted to see you. She's so happy, and there's no need for an insight check. It's very clear that she wasn't entirely certain that you would even want to answer her invitation, but she's so happy that you did.
Valk, you could tell Wall wants to be comfortable, is like standing there just like, what the fuck do I do now? I didn't think past this.
Please have a seat. I was just making breakfast for Nim. But
Nim is your fiance's son?
Yes. Sweet little boy. He's 10.
A fun age.
He will come out from upstairs once he's ready. He's shy.
We did make a little bit of an entrance.
We did. And don't worry about it. I was a shy kid too. I get it. I'm rather good with kids though, so I mean, it's fine.
It's at this point, Valk actually takes the time to introduce everyone. It's just like,
Levy is in full arm candy mode, by the way. Like, she is hanging off Valk.
Yeah.
So,
you can see that Runa is very polite when meeting you all, but she really only has eyes for Valk right now.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, this is Livy. She's one hell of a spellcaster. We have Lish and Demir, who are representatives from the Feywild. We have Aaron, heir to the chieftain of Northern Village. And we have Tobias, a fearsome hunter. And traveling with us honorably is Zota, who is helping us investigate the current happenings that we're working on.
Oh, like the strange weather we've been having lately.
It's more than strange weather, but yes.
Well, it is so nice to meet all of you. Thank you so much for taking good care of my Valkyria. He kind of says that like no, giving you a look like knowing that you're wearing full armor and you're clearly armed to the teeth.
It's a two-way street.
I think she's done more taking care of us than we have of her.
I mean, I wouldn't be terribly surprised. Oh my gosh, we have so much to talk about.
I suppose so.
Like I said in my letter, I'm so sorry for everything. I've missed you so much, and I thought about you every day.
Valk kind of does a shushing gesture, and it's just like, if we're being honest, I may or may not have sold my memories of you to aid a friend. So, shall we start fresh? And just puts a hand out.
Okay. He takes your gauntleted hand.
And then just pull in for a hug.
Okay. All right. And she just gives you the biggest hug and says, well, if you have any questions, and I can give you an explanation for anything you would like. The law keeper, your father, anything. I'm glad to do it. I'm
right
glad
now,
to have you in my life.
As of right now, the warm welcome is all that I was hoping for.
She kind of stands on her tippy toes and gives your cheek what she can reach a kiss.
I'm sorry, but I've kind of invited the entire crew here to the wedding. Is there anything I can do to help?
Well, it's totally fine. We're just gonna have a celebration. Jason and I have been living together for a couple years now, and we just decided to make it official. Gosh, I can't believe you're here. Yeah, mostly we just wanted to invite some people we've met in town, and just have cause to celebrate. You know, not enough of that in the world these days.
One should celebrate their joys.
And she notices Levy kind of hanging off of Valk's arm and says, and what about you two? Are you together?
Valk turns just bright red.
In a sense.
Well, it's lovely to meet my daughter-in-law.
Not quite that.
But she is
very sweet of you, though. There. Levy will gently pet Box back a couple of times.
Levy has been here to provide support since I didn't know what was going to happen coming into meeting you.
Of course. Well, you are all welcome at the wedding. Any friend of Valkyrie's is a friend of mine. The wedding in just a couple of days. Do you all have things to wear?
Yes.
I believe we do.
Actually, we stopped at your place of employ to get something for my ward to wear, gesturing towards Sniv.
He smiles and then kind of crouches down to get to Sniv's eye level. She says, "Hello there. What's your name?" And Sniv kind of looks at her and then looks up at you, Valk, and says,
Is this the one I'm biting?
This is the one we are not biting yet.
all right. Well,
Levy's
Valk
going to gently
lets off a little
elbow.
giggle.
Levy's going to
goodness
gently.
knows it wouldn't be the first time. My daughter has very sharp teeth.
Valk just smiles predatorily at Sniv.
And it's at this point that you see some blue eyes kind of peeking from down the stairs, just kind of watching.
Valk signs at him just a little hello.
When he sees you sign, he kind of edges forward a little bit. And as I mentioned before, you can see that he's an Air Genasi. He has light blue skin and kind of wispy shoulder-length white hair. He's wearing like the kind of raggedy clothes of a peasant, but he looks at you and he seems to be taking in your height, first of all. But then he kind of reaches back and pulls from the back of his hair, and he has pulled out a little feather that seems to be growing in with his little cloud-like wispy hair, and just holds it out to you.
Valk like kneels down, pulls out one of her own downy feathers, and trades with him.
And Runa speaks up at this point and says, Nim, this is your big sister. And he waves and signs Nim.
Valk, hi, I'm Valk. It's a pleasure to finally meet you.
But he seems just very fascinated with the feather that you handed him.
Levy, I believe she does. No, let me triple check. I'm so confident. But yes, she does have sign. Levy's going to sign out because she sees that the kid is fixated with the feather and go, isn't it pretty?
He just nods and kind of like clutches the feather.
And Levy will sign out. My name's Levy.
He signs Nim at you again.
So lovely to meet you.
He seems very reluctant to make eye contact, but he's willing to observe these people who come into his home.
But yeah, so Val stands back up and kind of turns to her mother and is just like, yeah, I picked up signing for military purposes, and well, it's helpful on the days when I don't feel like talking as well.
He's such a sweet boy. I'm so glad that there's people around who can communicate with him. He has a hard time sometimes.
It's hard being different sometimes.
That it is. It's not right. None of us are normal. It's
Well, the closest one is that one, pointing at Demir.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty normal.
Olivia's very clearly shutting the fuck up right now.
Honestly, that's wild coming from any of you, but yes, you are right.
Zelda, don't blow our cover.
If you don't mind me asking, how did you all move?
We picked Zoda up not long ago while we were investigating these weather changes, among other things.
I'm like a college level hitchhiker at this point.
Whereas I met the rest of the Wild Roses on a mission for Torm.
Okay. You can see that she's noticing that you said Torm, but you still have the symbols of Tyr on your armor. Like, okay. Well, I hope you're all being as safe as you can.
We do our best to make things safer for everyone else too.
You see her eyes kind of tracing over all the weaponry and armor that you all are wearing. I'm sorry. I'm just so surprised.
Pleasant surprise, I would hope.
Oh, definitely. I mean, as I mentioned, I've thought about Valkyria every day since we've been apart, and I wrote her the letter and sent her the invitation, and I figured it would make sense that she didn't want to come, but I wanted to open that door in case she did and reconnect. It's been so long.
Makes sense.
Is Mr. Carter around?
Oh, he is at work right now. He will be back in a little while. I mean, little while comparatively. He'll be back this evening. He's a fisherman, so he's out on the lake.
Of course. Does he have his own boat?
He works on a boat. It's called the. Let me find my notes. He works on the book called the Owl Harpy.
Interesting name.
You can see that she's like genuinely very fond of this man as she talks, but she says, he's very sweet. We actually met down in closer to Triowos. He was originally from Sinoon, and he takes very good care of me and Nim, and I take care of him, and he likes to draw a lot, which I really like. He's once again clearly very fond of this man.
Oh, lovely. Speaking of the lake, it is quite close. Maybe, since Nim here was out in the front yard, maybe we could go back out And if Nim would like to be a little tour guide, I would love to see around the property.
Well, as I said, as long as you're staying safe, I have no problem with it. Nim, what do you think? Nim kind of thinks for a moment, kind of leans to the side, looks out the window at the owls, then nods.
You don't even have to give me a tour. We can go back and play that little game you were doing.
He signs at you that he was just kind of stacking rocks and putting them in spiral shapes.
That sounds lovely. Why don't we go? The owls don't mind.
Are you all going?
I tend to follow wherever the rest of these ones go.
We do not have to go far. We did just come from the village.
All right. Well, you are welcome to go to the lake if you like. It's just a short walk to the north. Water would probably be a little cold if you are planning on swimming, but I guess that's your prerogative.
Oh, quick question. Do you have anywhere that's fuck, what are the dimensions on the portable fortress? Isn't it like 25-25?
What about the portable fortress? The size of it?
The footprint.
Oh, here, let me pull it up.
Is it 5x5 or 10x10?
It's a big one. 20 by, what is it? Yeah, it's a square tower, 20 feet on a side and 30 feet high.
Do you have anywhere that would be what would that be in paces? 3, 6, like 7 paces by 7 paces?
I mean, most of the surrounding area is pretty empty. Are you hoping for like a training space?
No, we we have a mobile camp set up,
Building.
basically. Yeah, we have a mobile building.
Okay, yeah. I mean, just any space around the cabin. There's it's a little hilly, but that shouldn't be too much of an issue.
Just making sure we don't set up anywhere that we're not supposed to.
We rent the land in the surrounding area, so you're good to go.
Okay. Well, I think we should get that set up so we're not overly imposing on your area here, and then
You could never impose.
you two can show us the area.
That sounds lovely. So you all kind of shuffle to try and get out of the small space. Yeah, like as I said, this area, this land, has like clusters of buildings and then like a few odd scattered buildings around. So there's room to set up the fortress if you want.
So yeah, let's set up the fortress somewhere that makes sense.
Okay. How close to your mom's cabin do you want to be?
A respectable amount of privacy, so it's not like towering over their place, but like obviously close.
Okay, cool. You're able to find a space like that, no problem. You set up the fortress. Did you take Rune and Nim with you for this?
Yeah.
Nim is delighted by this, and he just stims really quickly when he sees the tower or the fortress go up.
But yeah, and so Valk, talking and signing as you do, there's some benefits to the adventuring lifestyle.
As soon as the was set up, Aaron nips inside really quick, and then comes out wearing his swimsuit.
Setting expectations there.
Somebody wants some beach time.
All right. So you start heading northwards towards the shore of the lake.
I probably doff my armor as well.
Okay. You head northward towards the shore of the lake. It's like a 15-minute walk. Not terrible at all. Yeah, the lake, it's nice. As I said, there's those little clusters of buildings kind of close to the shore. Some of them have docks sticking out, some of them don't. Some of them are a little further away. There's lots of, like, for lack of a better descriptor, beach grass growing. And it's not a proper beach so much, but like the lake is there. There's grass, there's reeds, there's things in the water, cattails, things of that ilk. Basically what you'd expect. And you can see a few larger boats out in the water.
Are we able to see the owl harpy from here?
A perception check.
Well, I'm asking. I don't know what the owl harpy looks like. I'm asking me mama.
Runa kind of scans and points to the one furthest away.
Okay. What size of boat is it?
Let me look up the boat sizes. Give me a sec. These are not sailing ships because that would be pointless.
Keelboat?
Be closer to like long ships, actually.
So keelboat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nim sits near some of the grass and start like picking it and just tying it and then tossing it and then picking another piece and tying it and tossing it just over and over again.
As one does.
Yeah. And you notice that Runa just can't keep her eyes off of you. She's just so happy that you're here, and she can't quite believe it.
I believe he's making jewelry out of blades of grass.
All right. Aaron, do you go into the water?
Aaron goes into the water.
It's ice cold.
Hell yeah.
As water
Roll a
should
perception
be.
check.
Alrighty. That's actually pretty good. That is a 22.
You see a frog.
Oh my god. It's going to very gently try to reach down to it.
Roll a dexterity check.
That'll be that's not great. That'll be an 11.
Still rolled higher than the frog. You catch the frog.
Aaron's just going to call back to the group. Anyone want to see a frog?
Nim's hand shoots up.
You found
Aaron
a frog? What kind of frog is it? Should you be touching that?
I don't know. I didn't check.
Oh, weird.
Roge.
Just
Won't
come
that give
over,
you
doing
warts?
the like double cupped hand thing that you do, and be like, look. Mm.
Who are you
Tobias.
showing it to?
Him
Tobias wants to see
specifically,
Frog.
but I assume he's also in the area. Sounds like
Okay.
Toby wants to see it.
So Tobias, you are holding the frog like this in your hand, and then you go up to Tobias so he can see it, and you open your hands, and the frog jumps and lands on Tobias's head.
That's a mighty jump.
Tobias is like, and then like he freezes because he's like, I can't
Aw, he
see where
likes
the
you.
frog is, and I don't want to like accidentally smack it or knock it off or whatever.
Nim just starts laughing.
Toby, be careful.
having
They'll
a
give
good
you
time.
warts.
It's not like I can look any worse.
Toby.
Tobias!
At the sound of their displeasure, he starts wading into the lake. He's like, or going over to the lake edge, like, oh, not listening.
Nah, you get back here. And Levy's gonna get up and start running after his ass.
He's gonna put his hand over where he feels the frog is to make sure he doesn't, like, hurt it and stuff, and just go running along the side of the lake. He's like, nope, not listening.
Levy's gonna double dash after him. She's
like half
sprinting.
his height. She's gonna have to fucking.
Yeah,
It's funny
that's
because
why.
Levy is like in a fucking runner sprint, like Usain bolting after him, and then Tobias is just like looks like he's on a casual jog.
She's like, please get back here.
Man, they'll take you places.
Contrarian's just gonna turn over to Demir and say, what's the point of not getting warts if you can't even pick up a frog?
What?
I'd much prefer the frog and the warts.
Why?
Because then you get a
Neither
frog.
of
Isn't it toads that give you warts?
No.
Oh, they're just
Animals don't give you
creepy.
warts. They're, just a fact of life. Or a curse. Depending
Yeah.
upon how petty you are.
They're cute. They're bouncy.
They're wet and slippery, and they look like snot.
They're a stomach
They're
on legs.
smooth.
I can't. Zamira's walking away from you people.
I love how frog.
quality. What is that, Lars?
Oh, I was just saying, I love how frogs evolutionarily are literally a stomach with just enough other things to propel it forwards. It doesn't have ribs. It literally, the only way it can swallow is by shoving food back with its eyes. It's literally a stomach on legs.
Iconic.
Anyway, Lish, you were asking about the water quality.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna
Is
do
it
druid
nice?
things.
Well, it is fresh water. This lake is primarily runoff from the mountains, and then various creatures have been inhabiting it since.
What is that? It's an interesting way to phrase that.
The water is mostly clear. It seems very healthy.
Lish wants to go wading. I know you said the water is cold, but
Okay. Are you wading as a person or as a druid creature?
As a person.
For now.
Just rolls his pants up or whatever. Sits on a rock, kicks water.
Roll a perception check.
Oh yeah.
Well,
25.
25. What can I give you that's interesting? Once you start wading into the water, you find a little rock, little ways out to sit on, and about let's say a couple yards from you, you can see the top of a head poke out and just look at you.
A human head
A
or
humanoid head.
Well, what kind of humanoid are we talking here?
Well, you see, it looks very feminine, kind of bluish skin, and greenish hair. Kind of larger fish-like eyes, just peeking at you.
Oh, maybe a water dryad or merple. Merple. Merpeople.
Merson.
Merpson.
More likely a water nymph, yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
She's just watching you as you sit on her walk. You're on her rock.
How big of a rock is it?
Not too big.
Oh, well, she can't join me, unfortunately.
So she is just watching you.
He greets her. He's just like, hello.
Common or Sylvan?
Sylvan.
All right. She swims a little closer. And responds in Sylvan. I know who you are.
Oh, do you? And who are you, may I ask?
No one. But you were a Fey Lord.
He kind of raises a brow at her. I am curious how someone of your, I mean, DM, like how many like water nymphs come around the winter wilds? I mean, there's not a lot of like
They
ponds that aren't frozen over.
Yeah, it tends to be more like Selkie territory.
Yeah, there's more like swampy wetland. He so he kind of raises his brow at her, just like, how would you know something like that? Who are you?
As I said, I am no one. Whispers have just come through the water, trickling down the river.
Mm.
What brings you to my pond?
Even nobodies have names. Things that they are called.
I'm smart enough to not give you my name, sir.
You don't have to give it to me. I would like to know it.
See if I can find a good name for her.
You were like, I was hoping to get away with not having to name generate, but
Eh. I mean, I know it's inevitable, but
What,
really,
you
this
don't
is
want to pull a Boblin the Goblin?
Technically, you already have a boblin.
Yeah. Oh, is Sniv trying to catch like frogs to eat?
He's trying to catch them. He's unsuccessful because he does not roll well. um, let's see. The nymph says,
You can call me Sailfin.
can you say that again?
Sailfin.
This is a pleasure to meet
chat.
you. The connection is a little rocky.
Yeah.
He kind of contemplates that for a moment, and comments offhandedly to her, looking at the stream that's coming into the inlet, and says, kind of a little bit louder than not. It's like, if only the waters themselves could gurgle a little softer in regards to speaking of me. He kind of huffs a laugh, just like, ugh. I'm traveling with some friends.
Don't let them eat too many frogs.
He kind of looks behind him to see if they are actively eating frogs. Then he didn't notice.
Niv is certainly trying. He is standing like waist deep in the water and bending over to try to like catch things to eat.
Lish is just like, if he can catch them. I don't think Sniv is probably able to actually grab very many of them. Scares
no,
most of them.
he's
away
rolling
with that.
terribly.
Oh, I love our boy.
If he can catch that many enough to make him sick, perhaps he deserves it.
Perhaps.
You live here then, in this pond? You always lived here.
Yes, I have.
How do you feel about the fishermen?
He's been fishing a lot more lately. But as long as they do not harm me or my sister, or too many of the fish, I can let them stay.
Would you be interested in giving me a tour of the lake?
And what would I get in return?
My company.
Company for the afternoon, and you'd get your rock back sooner.
Roll persuasion check.
19.
We use some places. Can you still breathe underwater?
Ooh, I forgot that I had. Let me see if I have this prepared. I don't think I do. La, 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 la.
Aren't you able to shift into a fish?
Not the same thing as breathing underwater.
Hush, I'm looking something up. No, I don't have it prepared. That's fine. Lish will turn into a giant octopus.
All right.
And go into the water.
She shows you a few places around the lake. She shows you a rock where the fish like to congregate. She shows you some places where other fae may visit sometimes. And she also shows you, let me pull up the proper description. She shows you what looks like an ordinary chicken egg, but she explains to you that one night some thieves were trying to cross the lake to escape and had accidentally dropped it in. And she seems to believe that if the egg is broken, if it's shattered, that it will produce fog.
Oh. Is this underwater?
Yeah.
Or is this like a shoreline?
It is underwater. She says that the thieves had accidentally dropped it in the water and she found it.
Does she speak octopus? Speak at all?
Sylvan, and she is talking to you in Sylvan. She seems to understand you.
I talk in Sylvan while I'm wild shaped? Can I? What is my?
You can do beast speak. You speak octopus, but she seems to have no problem understanding you and is continuing to converse with you in Sylvan.
Okay. Okay. Alicia's just like, is this a treasure of yours, or do you just look after it?
Special treasure. One my sisters don't know about.
Ah. Is it precious to you? Would you be willing to part with it?
I could part with it in exchange for something.
I might have something that could interest you. Let's see. Do you sleep? Do you dream?
I do.
I have fruit from a very special tree.
She seems interested in that.
It can bring on very interesting dreams and even transport you potentially to the plane of dreams for a time. Does that
Roll a
interest you?
persuasion check with advantage. She's interested in that.
25. But he does say, I would like to examine your treasure, though, before completing our deal.
Of course. That seems more than fair. She hands you the egg.
Lish is gonna, with her following, I presume, he's gonna just take it to a place where he can not wild shape and cast identify on it.
Mm-hmm.
So some shoreline somewhere.
All right.
So identify.
Yeah, no problem. This is an egg of fog.
Egg of fog.
When shattered, a 40-foot radius sphere of fog emerges from it. The sphere spreads around corners and the area is heavily obscured. The fog lasts for 1 hour or until a wind of moderate or greater speed, at least 10 miles per hour, disperses it.
Well, what do you think, guys? Is that better or worse than my dream tree fruit that I stole?
Well, you're on your own.
I know.
I don't remember what the fruit actually does.
It's the fruit that we ate to send ourselves to the dreaming.
Right, so
So
basically just gives you a lucid dream, right?
I think it has more of practical application than a dream fruit, but a dream fruit is kind of a pretty valuable bargaining chip. So, I mean, either or.
also you can
I-
plant the dream fruit and grow a dream fruit tree.
I already have a dream fruit, a dream tree sapling, so
I also have access to fog cloud as a spell, so if that makes any sort of difference in the calculation.
I mean, I don't see us needing to go back to the dreaming anytime soon. And I like deals. Yeah, so he'll
valid. Your decision.
he'll say, "This is very interesting. Yes, I could take this if you would like." And he'll pull the fruit out to show her.
Nods and then kind of takes the fruit and just wraps her arms in it. And just kind of holds it like this.
It's like the new baby. Wonderful. So he'll tuck that away and he'll polymorph again and just kind of swim around a bit longer, and
I'll send you the info for the smoke bomb you just bought.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, and it's pretty chill. You're happy to be swimming around. She seems to be interested in showing you around.
They go and they like knock on the bottom of some of the boats and scare the fishermen. Tug on some lines and make them think that they're catching stuff.
Zoda, what are you doing?
Good question. She'll probably, you know what? Yeah, she will actually ask. I forget her name. It's like Runa, right? Runa. She will actually ask Runa, like, so I remember hearing about the, well, not even hear, but seeing the snow. When did it start happening?
Oh, a couple months ago. It's rather strange. Some days will just be blazing hot, and then the next days it'll start snowing.
It just sort of like flip-flops like that, just every week, every day.
I mean, every so often.
Nobody's fallen ill or anything because of it, right?
Not to my knowledge. I mean, Ricky was complaining about it the other day, but I don't think anyone's gotten sick because of it. Other than, of course, the folks who just don't prepare properly for the snow, get cold.
Yeah, I can imagine the rapid climate changing isn't very helpful for fishing. Probably confuses the poor things.
Yeah, well, that's why is they've been hiring more fishermen lately just to ensure that we can continue to feed the town.
Hmm. I don't think we've heard much more about your fiance. Uh, has he lived around here for a long time?
Oh no,
Sounded like you were recent move-ins.
Yes, he used to live in Sanoon, but we met in Trios actually. It was, well, it's kind of a funny story. I had left. I don't know how much Valkyria has told you about her upbringing, but it was a rather toxic environment, for lack of a better descriptor, uh, south of Legacy Quarry. I had left and wanted to heal from that experience, get help where I could. I traveled southward to Treewa, and started trying to pick up odd jobs. And Jason had left the noon. He worked on larger ships moving from here to other continents, um, particularly doing trade with places such as Mahaba and that. But after the death of his first wife, he and Nim wanted to also seek greener pastures. So we had just met because we were both new in Triawo.
What prompted you guys to move north?
Actually, it was because I had been looking for Valkyria. Since I had left, as I mentioned before, the area close to Legacy Quarry, I had spent almost every coin I earned trying to find her. And it was the utmost importance to me. She's my daughter. And so I had eventually found that he taken up residence in a temple up here, so I wanted to come up here to be closer to her, and hopefully reach out. But by the time that we had arrived, she had apparently left. And so I sent a message to her temple to invite her to the wedding in the hopes that she would feel comfortable reaching out when she felt safe doing so.
Seems like you underwent quite the change of heart. What prompted you to leave Legacy Quarry anyway?
Well, as I said, I don't know how much Valkyria told you about her upbringing, but it was something of a cult of personality. For Lawkeeper Doboslav, he saw Valkyria's birth as a way for him to garner more support in the town and to gain more power. And I don't know if you have any sort of familiarity with that sort of environment. But the way that I've been seeing a cleric about it, going through counseling, and the way that the counselor described it, there's starting out with a sense of love bombing, making sure that that I and Valkyria were valued, and my part for being Valkyria's mother, that we were valued and important and chosen. Those were his words, not mine. And after a while, he essentially, for lack of a better descriptor, cut me loose and just started using Valkyria as his figurehead for the power that he was trying to gain. And by that time, I was so deep in it, I just wanted so badly for what he was saying to be true, because we were both so deep inside of it. And then when representatives from the mountain came and saw what was going on, took Valkyria away, that sort of helped myself and a bunch of other people see what was really going on, and that the lawbearer was just a selfish old man that was trying to be more important than he really was. And it certainly did not help that after Valkyria was taken away, he tried to create some false miracles, saying that he had been blinded, but by the light of the divines, he was able to see again. But once he saw him up close, he was, as I said, just a frail old man trying to gather as much power as he could. And so I left, and I heard that he died not long after, and as I mentioned, I've been trying to see counseling. I have no particular interest in Tyr or Torm or any of the more combative deities anymore. I don't know if you had a chance to visit the shrine to Eldath yet in town, but I've been seeking counseling with the woman who tends to the shrine, Torga Halon. She's a really sweet old woman. She's been helping me process some of these more unhealthy habits and behaviors that I've picked up from my time in the cult.
I can't help but remark that it is interesting that you seem to have had to wait until the lawbringer was dead to try and reach out to your daughter.
I left shortly before his death, and as I said, I've been doing everything in my power since my departure to try to find Valkyria.
I'm sure you have.
Can I get a sus check on Demir?
Sure. Roll a 5 check.
Alright. Probably just gonna do insight. That seems the most fitting. I never test around my d20s to see if it hates me. That's a total of 18.
I mean, she's not being particularly subtle with her clear lack of buying it, I guess, is probably the best way to put it. Like, there is clear suspicion, there is clear distrust, there is clearly like she's not buying what Runa is putting down, basically.
All right.
It's just, you know, I'm sure that you did everything within your power. Absolutely. It's just
normal
interesting.
Normal people can't send psychic messages, you know.
I know. I'm aware. I just, like I said, think it's interesting. There are certainly clerics out there with the ability to send messages if it is needed, but like I said, I'm sure you did everything you could. I just, like I said, I'm trying to square a little bit your story with what I know about Valkyria's perspective on you, which is that the instant she had the chance to rid herself of any memory or recognition of you, she did. And while Valkyria is here today, I think that has more to do with the nature of her wanting to look for the betterment in everyone than perhaps her better knowledge, given that she doesn't have any right now.
Could you stop throwing so much shade at her, please?
I'm just looking out for my people.
I'm glad to hear that your hostility is coming from a place of concern for Valkyria. I can assure you with a clear conscience that I have done everything in my power to try to find my daughter, to rebuild a relationship with her now that she's here, to at least leave the door open for such a thing. If she chooses to, that is up to her. Otherwise, we'll miss her greatly, but she is an adult now, and I am happy to let her make her own choices, even at the expense of myself.
I think you should be very grateful to a hag. And Demir's going to walk away.
All right. Runa just looks a little confused about that, but kind of just goes quiet.
Valk just playing with Nim, completely unaware of Demir being Demir.
This is the first time.
Where is my husband?
This is the first time Zoda's seen Demir be Demir, as Lars put it. So she's a little like, just like, wow, bitch.
Your husband is off with a naked lady.
What's new?
Giant octopus causing problems in the pond.
Levy, what are you doing? Are you still chasing after Tobias?
I mean, she's committed to the bit. Also, she hasn't had a lot of time with Toby, so, you know. And she wants to give Valk some space to have her own bonding moments without the party interfering, but you know. Oh, Demir. Oh, Demir, if Levy were there for that, you would have been scruffed like a kitten. God bless you. But yeah, no, she's still running after Toby,
All right.
provided he's still fucking running.
Are you, Tobias?
He'll probably keep it up for a bit, just to tease her a little.
Rude.
And then eventually he'll slow down so she can catch up to him, and he'll put the frog down back into the water.
She'll catch up to him and she's gonna be like, she's like, like wheezing. She catches up to him probably around the time that he's like gently placing the frog back from whence it came. She'll probably come up behind him and be like, oh, catch her breath. Did you really have to run so far?
It's not my fault my legs are longer than yours.
Yeah. Yes. You didn't choose to be a giant. The giant's life chose you. And she'll like come up on him and like pull him in so that they I want to say chest to chest, but he's so large. So it's like chin to chest. Because she's looking up at him. And she's kind of batting her
motorboat maneuver.
No, the chin! The chin! It's not the face! She's looking up at him! It's not about the tits this time, I swear!
This time.
Sure.
Be nice to me. But yeah, she'll just like pull him in for a nice hug and kind of just look at him with her silly little hard eyes and honestly just admire him because he looks happy and he was playing with her and she thinks that is just the sweetest thing.
Yay.
Phyllis is gay.
I feel like Demir probably finds them at some point. Like, have either of you seen Lish?
Can I roll like a perception check for that or something?
Check.
We'll see if Levy's spotted in the mad dash after Tobias if she spotted a giant fucking octopus. Well, she's got priorities. That's a 9. Sorry, Lish.
Rip.
No, I haven't seen him. I mean, not being late. If you haven't seen him on land.
I haven't seen him on land. And last I saw him, he was standing on a rock, but I don't know where he went from there.
Maybe he went swimming.
Maybe. Anyway, sorry for interrupting.
Oh, no, not at all. Just caught him and was having some time because I didn't get to see y'all for a while, you know. And she'll kind of unfold from Toby a little bit and put an arm out to Demir.
Demir will go in.
Yeah.
It's so nice to have you back, Levy.
It's nice to be back. I missed y'all. I missed y'all a whole lot. I'm worried and all of that. I'm really glad everybody's okay. I still miss Hawk, but when he gets back, I'll just have to give him all ration his shit. As is our usual.
You really think he's coming back?
He said he was.
Why
I
would
mean, he's in this whole mess with the planes falling apart and everything with us. I don't think he's the type of guy to abandon, friends and also a sense of duty. It's
It's
ultimately
sense
his
of
choice, though.
duty that I imagine would keep him from us. Does he not have a duty to his old master?
I mean, not really, considering that in his time, his old master's fucking dead. He's probably just securing his existence or some shit. Time loop, cake, whatever it is, shenanigans. Temporal nonsense. And if he doesn't, I mean, he'll have his reasons, and we can always harass him for anything we might need from him. Like, I mean, Jamie's at least from what I know from Hawk, Jamie's a real smart guy and might have some resources. So, I mean, if anything, like, it could be a situation of similar to me being back at the house and over here Royce with all the research stuff. He's not like gone. He's not dead. He's just away.
I mean, certainly he's not gone, but I mean, his whole purpose was to serve Jamie, and now he gets a second chance at his whole purpose. I don't imagine the man would throw it away, especially given how.
Well, I mean, the whole purpose thing
Cut
and
on.
all that, but he's a whole person. He can choose his own purpose if he wants. And also, you did say was, and that's pretty past tense. So, yeah. And, I'm just tired of this whole subject of Hawk being gone. I just miss him a lot, and I'd be really happy to see him again. And that's kind of the end of it for me. And I kind of don't really like hearing bad things about him because I care about him and I like him as like a person. So I mean, I respect your feelings and perspective on it, but like I kind of don't want to hear too much more of it because I have my own feelings on it, and I just kind of don't want to try and reconcile the two because clearly we're at odds on this subject, and the only thing that's really gonna kind of resolve that is whatever Hawk decides to do. And honestly, so long as he's happy and has his purpose and feels fulfilled in his life, I'm pretty happy for him. Anyways, where is Lash?
Join the club.
We'll take another moment to roll another perception check if you'd like.
That was the best way to close out that diatribe.
I love Levy so much.
She's
so good.
I love her so goddamn much. She's so good.
Like I said, if Levy had been over there while Demir was being a bitch to Valk's mom for no fucking reason. At this point.
That's a 24 perception for me.
Okay, thank God. I'm not gonna like Levy's gonna look around, but yeah, that's an 11.
Levy, you are too distracted with whatever Demir's bullshit is to notice a soaking wet Lish coming out of the lake, holding an egg, and a woman without any clothes on, just going like waist deep, waving at him, showing him her tits, and then going back into the water.
Oh. More than anything, there's like a giant octopus that goes.
I'm just imagining Demir like leaning like, what's the egg from, Lish?
Genuinely though, it's a little like Kill Bill eyes, like has seen this.
Bweep, boo, bweep, boo, do, 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 do.
Giant octopus going over to Levy and Demir. Poke, poke.
Where did you get that egg from?
This is like a little octopus tentacle around the egg when he like pops out of wild shape holding it. One of the nymphs of the lake had this, and I traded some fruit for it.
The naked woman.
Naked woman?
Yeah. It apparently, you break it and it creates a fog cloud. So I thought that might be useful. He'll put it in his bag.
So
What are you all getting to?
I mean, we were just kind of looking for you just now, but you're here. So that mystery solved.
We were bothering the boats.
I tried to make a pun out of that, and I couldn't.
A pun like how?
Like, I was trying to stash the words together to be clever, and it just sounded real clunky in my head, so I don't think I'll say it.
Well, she and her sisters populate the lake, and they gave me a tour. Well, the one sister did.
Did you get any of the information about the planes unraveling or anything like that out of them? Or was this strictly a visit for pleasure?
I inquired, but she's never left the pond.
Small world of hers, I guess.
What all have you been up to, aside from looking for me?
Just chatting. Spending some time. I chased Toby down the beach here. He was holding a frog. He insulted himself a little bit as a joke. And by the way, that doesn't flatten. She's gonna like jab him in the ribs, like playfully, but she's gonna jab him in the ribs. Toby.
Pointedly not looking at her.
Reaches up and pokes him in the cheek.
I don't remember such a thing occurring.
Okay, you little shit. What was all the running for then, huh? You trying to take the frog? Steal the frog? Oh no, steal the frog.
I was going for a casual afternoon stroll. Some exercise, stretching the legs.
A casual afternoon stroll, which was a dead sprint for me. You
like I said, it's not my fault. You're a half pint.
Livy's going to huff and puff and stomp like 5 feet away and look, quote unquote, so bad.
Demir is absolutely giggling about that.
And your bitch train successfully derailed. You bitch.
Yeah. They're too adorable to be mad with.
Valk, you said you're just hanging out with Nim.
Well, it's what made sense for how I was missing Demir absolutely ranking on my mom.
I think Aaron's also gone over there too.
You're both playing with Nim. He is really into, as I said, kind of fidgeting with the bits of grass that he's picking, and then once there's like not enough grass that's a good enough length in the correct area, he switches to finding rocks and then just making patterns with them.
I see if he has any inherent magical aptitude due to his upbringing.
Okay, how do you test this?
You know, like I'm a sorcerer, he's a source. I have a level in sorcerer. He is of mixed heritage. I see if, he's able to cast any cantrips due to his heritage and like show him little basic magics.
Let me pull it up.
Just creating a problem for my mother later.
Have to wait for the page to load.
Because don't Air Ganassi have a little inbuilt magic?
Yes.
Aaron will also show off the 2 cantrips he can do: Message and Light.
All right.
Apparently he's able to create electricity and is also a fast little fucker.
Not the correct stat block.
Oh.
He is able to cast Levitate.
Ah.
Yeah.
So he's able to levitate rocks. Cool.
Mm-hmm. And he utilizes that to make little... How about he makes kind of like a double helix spiral of pebbles in the air.
Oh, that's really cool.
Dang.
I mage hand and do rock stuff with him.
All right.
I channel the autism with him.
Mm-hmm. he has a lot of the autism, and he is happy to have autism to autism communication going on. After the talk with Demir, Runa kind of stays out of the way and is just watching.
Her children do magic at each other.
No one's getting hurt, so no need to intervene.
Lish might eventually make his way back from Toby, Levy, and Demir and go and track down the kiddos and say hi.
All right. There's a lot of floating pebbles, like in the immediate vicinity. But he's Nim is having a good time playing with his new stepsister.
Lish will come over and say hi, and the pixies will come out and say hi too.
One of the pixie riding around on the floating rocks.
He
Oh yes.
very excitedly when he sees the pixie and kind of like holds his hands out to them.
Little Vettel coming and floating down into his hands like a flower.
He gets very excited but doesn't want to move. It's sort of like that thing where, like, you know when you're handed a baby and you're like, oh god, what do I do with this now?
The goal has been achieved. What do I do now?
Mm-hmm.
All the pixies landing on him.
He is very happy.
Lish'll pull out like a little thimbleful of the Elvaquist wine and give it to the child to hold to let the pixies drink from the chalice like those lorikeets at the zoo.
All I can think of is those little cups you can hold for the hummingbirds.
Yeah.
And they zzz.
Yeah, so he seems very fascinated, like as he's holding the little cup and he's just like staring at the pixies.
Lish is having fun.
That was Nim. Does anyone else have anything they'd like to accomplish right now?
Do we get to meet Carter before end of the session?
Might. We'll see.
Demir is going to lean over to Toby while Levy is off a little ways, if she does go off a little ways, and just, Levy, especially standing next to you, she is so small. But I wonder what would happen if she were even smaller.
Excuse me?
Are we doing reduced person?
That's not a person. That's not a character. Do not shrink the wife.
I don't know. I kind of prefer her the way she is.
I agree, but I think it would be kind of fun.
What if she gets lost in the grass?
We would find her.
Oh
We can hold her in our hands, carry her in our little pocket.
But what if it scares her?
Well, I don't imagine she would stay scared for very long.
All I can think about is Demir using reduced person or enlarged person for sexy time.
By the way, I said Levy's only like 5 feet away.
No, Lars, no.
Like,
This is what they're
roll a perception check.
It's gonna be an advanced combat maneuver against Idrin.
Throw the Levy at them.
Like throwing a small bomb at this point.
Well, you can explode.
Listen, it's simple. You shrink Levy, throw her, and then she casts fireball on herself. It's a grenade.
Oh.
Or, throw Levy to then get close enough so she is in range to fireball.
Actually, we could probably do that without shrinking her, given some of the stacked strength scores in this party.
All right. Tobias will say, I don't think you should do it without talking to her first.
Fine. Here I wanted to play a fun little game. How would you like to be smaller?
You mean make me normal size?
I kind of want that to happen. Yeah, would you be a normal sized man or a very tiny little Toby?
You would
Tobias,
be a giant halfling.
Tobias looks down at himself, looks up at Demir, he goes, screw it, we ball. Puts his arms out. Do it. For science.
Samir takes his face in her hands and gives him a kiss, and then shoves the strawberry shortcake into his face.
Okay.
So it's from my little baker's dozen, fresh and soft, and a little sweet strawberry shortcake, and you become one size category smaller for. Let me grab a D4. Oh no, where'd my D4 go? Oh god. For 3 hours, you are one size category smaller.
All right. So, let
Valk
me.
is now the big one in the party.
Tobias, you are the size of a halfling.
A tall as hell halfling, but
tall,
a halfling.
A tall halfling, but a halfling nonetheless. Your size category is small, and so
How
is your.
tall is that?
Your speed has been reduced.
He's about what, 4 feet then? If he's
He'd be
tall
about
for
4
a
feet
halfling.
tall, since that's tall for a hobbit.
Oh my god! Oh my god! He's Levy size.
Does Demir say that?
Your speed is also reduced because you are smaller.
So what's his speed at now?
25.
25.
Damn, he goes from 45 to 25.
Oh my god.
Tobias is fucking fast.
Well,
The
actually,
man
you
can
might
walk.
still
See,
get
it's because
some of
Tobias normally has legs that are 8 feet tall, but now
them.
Tobias just like looks down at himself. He looks up at Demir and he's like, my god.
You are so cute.
Levy feels like she blinked
Like
on
Levy
like a
looks
cute
at Nim,
moment.
is like playing with him, turns around, sees Tobias normal, turns back around, sees Tobias shrunk down.
Yeah, she walks away while Levy and while Demir and Toby are standing there. Looks over at Nim, looks back, and then there's just like Demir and tiny Toby.
Wait a second. So, Toby to Levy is now Levy to Toby.
Yes.
Oh god. Levy's just like blinking down at him like what?
So this is how all you people live.
Well, see if you get any sympathy from me before that wears off.
I was just making an observation. Wait,
Are we gonna like pick Toby up?
Demir, we have something else to test.
What?
Come with me into the woods.
Okay.
No,
Demir's going.
I must see this too.
Tobias leads Demir into the woods, like slash foliage far enough away that like nobody.
More of a field. Not
it's
so
more of a
many
field.
woods up in this area, but there's like open fields with hills you can.
Oh wait,
walk.
there was the tower that we put up, the fortress.
That's
about
15 minutes.
15-minute walk.
Well, the thing lasts for 3 hours and stuff.
Yeah.
And
I
Tobias
was just
doesn't want to. I mean, yeah, because Tobias doesn't want to transform out in the open.
Okay.
So he's like, Demir, to the fortress, and you will see him. He's running as fast as his little legs can carry him, but it is significantly slower.
Valk's just sitting there watching the little teeny tiny Toby running across the field, and it's just like
It's like watching, like a little chihuahua or like a little Scotty dog running with the little legs going.
well, no. So your base speed as a human is 30. So actually, no, you're
Tobias's
running.
base speed is at 45.
Well, due to all your modifications, but as a human, it would be 30. So if it's reduced, you would still be going like 35 as the little halfling just going.
Is just utterly delighted and following behind.
But
Like,
once they
it's cute.
get to the fortress and stuff, and since it's just Demir that's with him, Tobias transforms into his owlbear.
Ah!
Are you doing your hybrid form or your just full form?
That's right. Well, for his thing, it specifies that it's a hybrid transformation. But I've always just with the flavor of it, I usually just do it as like it looks like a full owlbear with the wings and stuff.
Okay, cool. Just double checking.
It has the stats of the hybrid form and things like that, but
as an owlbear, you are a medium creature since you have been shrunk.
He is significantly smaller.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
absolutely like gets down on her hands and knees to get behind his head and give him all the good scritches.
Lot smaller, lot fluffier. His wings seem a bit easier to move as well. Like he's actually able to flap them a little bit.
Oh, I'm so proud.
I wish Valk was in the tower, because if she was, she would be lifting up the teeny owlbear and be going, "Spider bear, spider bear."
Demir just like, look at your paws.
Who's the witless little
like,
guy?
She loves Toby's owlbear form so damn much. And just like determined to shower him with so much love. And he's so small. It's so good.
All right.
If we all kind of start making our way back to the fortress, do we get to see the Biblielber or no?
It depends, because Zoda does not know, and Tobias would not want her to see. And then he also wouldn't want to risk Valk and Nim, or Valk's mother and Nim seeing him. So probably like play around as an owlbear for a little bit and stuff, but then cancel the transformation early, and either him and Demir will return to the group, or they'll just hang out there until everyone comes back.
The group would probably be returning at about that point.
Okay.
But when he starts to like turn back into his form, she's like, wait. I'm going to send a message to Lish. Like, Lish, you have to come to the fortress with Levy. Please.
As long as it's them and not the others that, you know.
Do not bring Zota.
Not Zoda, not Runa, not Nim.
Lish'll leave the pixies with Valk and go track down Levy to take back to the fortress.
I mean, she goes. She's like, she might be slightly worried and think something wrong, but
Demir wants us to go over to the fortress alone. Meet them there.
okay.
Kind of takes her hand and pulls her along.
She swings their arms between.
I imagine when they appear initially, like
Demir will get the door. Like when they get there, she will open it for them to like make sure that there isn't anyone extra tagging along. And just like the biggest fucking like excited grin as she like sees that it's just the two of them and is like, come on.
Okay. And
when they walk in, they just see like sitting in the middle is I don't want to say orb of feathers, but it's more like Tobias closed his wings around him, hiding his body, and then when they fully stepped in the doors close, he goes, ha! And he spreads his wings out.
Levy will jump a little for the comedic effect.
Like,
Go, oh my goodness!
Oh, I have GIF. I have perfect GIF.
Oh my god. But yeah, Levy will go, oh! Look at you!
There. I got it. Perfect GIF.
Yeah.
It goes rah. Lish grins and tumbles forward, letting go of Levy's hand, and he'll polymorph himself into the little owl bear form that he took before when he and Tobias hung out that one time, and goes rah back.
Oh my gosh. Levy has her hands to her face and she's just got like if there was a way to have heart, actually no, she's going to cast dancing lights again and she's going to put little pink hearts around her head for the effect. And if there could be hearts in her eyes, there would be. And she's just so pleased. This is adorable. What the fuck?
Sudden, Aaron's head peeks into the fortress and he shouts in, everyone okay?
Ah! Tobias runs to hide behind Lish.
I was just Aaron.
Oh,
Everything's fine.
Tobias pokes his head back out. Hello, Aaron.
Toby?
Yeah, look, he's just a little guy.
But
I will point out that a medium-sized owl bear is still person-sized, but whatever, you do you.
He's just a little guy.
He's a little guy in comparison
Well,
to the
it's smaller
usual.
than what is normal. Like, it's still within the medium category, but it's still smaller than, like, rather than being at the upper
It's
end
like a
of the
dwarf.
medium category, he's on the smaller end of the medium category.
Fair
Like
enough.
a dwarf.
Still technically qualifies, but it's like at the cusp.
gonna be like, I can comfortably make eye contact with you now. And just like flash his eyes at Toby.
Wait, because how tall is Toby in owlbear form normally?
Large.
Well, he is
Large.
large sized, but when he's standing up, isn't he only like maybe like at most a foot taller?
I don't know. I haven't done
It's
the
not-
measurements.
Well, you're
It's not
also
typically
giant.
how- That's not typically how quadrupeds work, but
Owl bears can stand up. They're bears.
Yeah, they're bears.
yeah, exactly. Like a polar bear is only like what, 4, 5,
Polar
6
bear
feet.
is not a good example because polar bear is pushing large into huge.
Fair.
Like a
How big is
Like
an
a-
owlbear?
oh god, the little sun bears.
I can figure it out later.
I'll figure it out.
Okay.
Now is not the time for math in this math game.
Shush.
It is time to hang out with a tiny, normal-sized owlbear.
All right.
Okay, 8 to 10 feet. So that would mean he's only like
We're not
a
dealing with that
foot
right
taller.
Wish will climb up onto Toby's back and just bother him a little bit.
Yeah, Tobias will play around in his owlbear form for a little bit until he grows concerned about potentially others seeing him, and then he'll transform back. He's still small because he has to be for 3 hours.
So, since everyone else had noticed everyone else leaving, and they all passed their check, Valk, you said you were going to start gathering people up
Slowly.
slowly. So while this is happening, at this point, it would be you, Erin, Runa, and Nim, and Zoda. While you're kind of gathering everyone up a little bit, your mom kind of catches your arm and says, "Your friends are very interesting."
They really are.
Do they make you happy?
Valk just kind of really thinks about it for a little bit and goes, for the first time in my life, yeah, they really do.
And that is what is important to me. I'm glad you're happy. I don't want you to feel obligated to build something between the two of us if you don't want to. But I want you to know that I love you very much. And you were born out of love as well.
Well, then that sounds like a good way to start a relationship.
And I think that seems like a great place to end session today.
Aww.
Ending on Whittle Guy mode.
Aww.
And also
This
the.
was nice. This was such a feel good sesh.
Oh, yeah.
Such feel good.
Yeah.
Barring Demir and her issues.
Yeah, but then she made up for it by making a mini Toby.
Just a little
Don't
guy. Yeah.
worry. Don't worry. Demir's arc is coming up too.
Oh, that'll be fun.
You'll get her comeuppance.
Which I did do the math. A size reduced owlbear would comfortably be about 5 feet standing up.
That's amazing.
Oh, little guy.
right.
Guy.
Thank you for playing, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you
everyone
for
being
DMing.
around.
Yeah.
Thank you as
Next-
always.
Next session will probably be the wedding.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll figure out timing and stuff. And hey, I know I mentioned it in the chat earlier, but we're coming up on our 3-year anniversary, guys.
Oh my god.
It's fucking wild.
Yeah, and I've been gaming with you guys full time for about a year now.
Yeah.
Aww.
It's been really nice.
Yeah, we're glad to have you.
This is a good group and this is a good game and I'm happy. But I'll see you guys next time.
All right. GG.
Bye.
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 Have a good afternoon.